Welcome back, y'all. So, it's Clipper time. And the reason why I have this coat on is very symbolic for the Clippers. Because what do I call them? Basement dwellers. Dumpster divers. They're in the basement with the space heaters and the dehumidifiers. So you need coats like this to be able to keep warm. So, let's go ahead and talk about it. James Harden is now a Clipper. Hey, salute to him. He got exactly what he wanted. Right? We talked about this for weeks. He wants to be a Clipper. He wanted to retire a Sixer. Lied to him, so he wants to leave. Why does he want to be a Clipper? Because he can be able to get what he wants. See, the one thing about life that we always know is that people who are used to a certain lifestyle will know how to get that particular lifestyle no matter how or who they have to manipulate to get there. I call those people survivors. We call them kept wives. James Harden is that. He's not happy in Brooklyn. Oh, I'm just not going to try hard anymore. I get traded. Talk about how Kyrie made it weird. But Brooklyn offered you a 3-year, $161 million extension that you declined. So if you're talking about money, wouldn't it have behooved you, D. Julia, to accept the extension and do exactly what Kevin Durant did and still get out of there? But you want the Philadelphia Sixers to make the same mistake that Brooklyn was trying to make with you? No, they're not doing that. But who will? The most desperate man in basketball. The Mr. 10,000 bathrooms. That I have a new arena being built in Inglewood that nobody's going to go into except concerts and volleyball tournaments. That's the guy that you want to go to. Hey, it's fine. So let's talk about it. James Harden said that Philadelphia put restrictor plates on his ability because he's not a system player. He is the system. Interesting. How is that going to work in Clipperland? You have Russell Westbrook, who claims that he can't come off the bench because it messes up his routine. You have Kawhi Leonard, who says, we don't care about whatever new policies that are going on in the NBA. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because why? I'm protected. I'm on the Clippers. They're not going to let me fail. I'm their cash cow. When I agreed to my contract, I told him, listen, I'm only going to play about 50 games a year. Y'all good with that? Y'all, we're fine. That's more than we expected from you, Kawhi. Thank you. You want a helicopter too? Pick you up from San Diego every day? Then Paul George said, hey.
San Diego, by the way.
San Diego, yes. I want the same thing he got. Sure. That's your friend. You get the same thing. Why wouldn't anybody want to be a Clipper? There's no rules. Players can get what they want. You see how happy Russell Westbrook is? Because there's no spotlight on him. Nobody gives a shit about the Clippers. When he was in the Lakers in the same building, the backlash or the news reports were so loud. All of his errors and turnovers were all on front display. He's doing the same nonsense with the Clippers, but nobody's talking about it. Why? Lynx, you know the rules. You know the answer. It's the Clippers. Nobody cares. So this is the thing with me is that James Harden is now a Clipper. Congratulations. But at the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture is that no one cares. They don't. So this is why you can have these four guys together. There's no foursome in the league. There's only one threesome in the league, and that's the Phoenix Suns. And everybody's looking at that roster and saying they don't have enough to compete. They don't have a defense. They don't have depth on their bench, and they don't have a point guard. So they're going to struggle. What's the Clippers' excuse? They have four guys that have questionable playoff records, right? Kawhi is the most successful out of the four, correct? But they also have health concerns. James Harden is a guy that can play 82 games. Yes, so is Westbrook. But what about Paul George? So when people tell me, when I hear in the media, when people are scared to criticize the Clippers and say, hey, I don't think they're very good. I don't think they're going to be that great. And they say, oh, I don't know. You know, I think they're going to impress people. And yeah, really? The same James Harden that choked in games 6 and 7, that guy? Oh, it was the Sixers' fault that caused that because they put restrictor plates on him. That makes sense. The Lakers are to blame for Russell Westbrook's problem. Now he's on the Clippers. Things are different. Paul George. Well, hey, I'm here, but I'm only here for 40 games a year. You get what you get. Kawhi, same thing. So why should anybody think otherwise? Who can convince me that the Clippers are going to be any better than what they've ever been? Links, go ahead and try.
You see, I'm telling you, Harden's going to make that whole group better. His passing ability. They got good offensive talent already.
Where?
All them guys is offensively talented.
Who?
Kawhi, Paul George, Westbrook. They averaged triple doubles for a few seasons. Kawhi won championships.
Oh, you heard? You see that? I love. You see, this is why.
I'm telling you, collectively together, I believe they're gonna be better than what you think.
You know what this reminds me of, and whoever wants to take it after I go on my little diatribe is fine. This reminds me of an IS-8 team.
IS-8? Like,
yes. This reminds me of, and Link play ball. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know how many talented players have come through IS-8?
Yeah.
You know how many players have come through that system? It's like, oh man, this dude is great. And you put all of these guys together and you think that they're going to be successful because the talent alone is so great that hold on. I'll let you finish. Let me get it off. Because you waving the Clipper flag right now. I get you. IS-8. You have those talent, and then some team from New Hampshire comes in, and they're 5'9", and they move the ball passionately and blow that team out by 35 points. Why? Because schemes matter, right? Coaching style matters. Playing style matters.
You think Tyrone Lue's not a good coach?
He could be Jesus Christ. It doesn't matter about who you have on your team. You have 4 guys. Listen, I watch basketball. I am not somebody who is just hating just to hate. These are 4 ISO players. Have you ever seen James Harden move without the basketball?
I haven't seen him play off ball.
Never. Have you ever seen Russell Westbrook play off ball?
So then I don't remember them in OKC then. I could tell you that.
Oh, so we're talking 15 years ago. You're talking about 50. These guys are not the same players. These are 34 and 33-year-old men now.
He does have the ability to do it.
Well, I don't know that. I haven't seen it.
This is what I'm saying. You cannot. Anybody has the ability to do anything. LeBron James can go out there and hit 15 threes tomorrow. He has the ability to do it. Has he ever done it? No.
Yeah, I think
so. What are the odds of that happening? We got to stop this. Because for everybody else, right? For everybody else, people will have definitive answers as to why guys are not good or why they are good. But for some reason, people have this affinity for Russell Westbrook and James Harden's game. Why? Because of triple doubles. Let me ask you a question, Links. You played basketball, right? Yeah. How many triple doubles you ever had in your life?
I don't think I ever had triple doubles.
Did it matter in regards to the grand scheme of winning a game? So what does it matter now? So when you tell me as a basketball player, These guys get triple doubles. What does it matter to me?
Because I'm just
Triple
saying,
doubles
as
don't
far
make-
as a role,
Triple doubles don't win games.
he can do whatever. He
Triple
can grab-
doubles
he
don't
can
win
do what's
games.
necessary to win. If they want him to grab rebounds, if they want him to pass the ball, if they want him to score, he can do it.
There's a difference between getting 10 rebounds and getting 10 rebounds that are effective or mean something in the game. You do realize that there's stat padding.
Yeah, that happens.
This is what I'm saying. Look, I am just somebody who's an overseer. I call myself.
I think it's hard for him to pad his stats. Like he really earned a lot of them.
Who?
Westbrook.
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna just sit over here. I'm gonna stay over here. You said Westbrook
Yeah,
earned those stats.
a lot of them.
I would say so.
He's
Don't let me.
doing it
I
in
know.
the flow of the game.
I know if you're done, B.
And at the time when he was doing it, he was the only one on the team, really. So why wouldn't
You talking
everything
about
go
OKC?
to him? Yeah, when he was getting, he was the only one on the team, pretty much.
So I would say this. So one, I think they got worse defensively. Paul George. I'm sorry,
Because of Harden.
because of the trade. So Covington, they lost
Oh, yeah,
Covington,
yeah.
who's
Marcus Morris,
they lost Marcus Morris, who's tough and defensive
Nicholas
minded.
Batum.
Nicholas Batum. These are guys that they would throw at other wings. You know what I mean? Like KD, LeBron. They lost all three of those guys. Now, you look at the starting lineup, I would say Kawhi Leonard has lost a step defensively. Offensively, he's still
2 steps.
yeah, I would say he lost a step. Paul George used to be, to me, probably the best two-way small forward in the league, right? And I think there's still an argument for that.
I think he still is.
That's why I said.
Who else can you name?
No, that's why I just said.
Paul George still legit.
I said I still think there's an argument for that. But that's one person out of the starting 5. Westbrook, we know, is not a great defensive player, and we know James Harden is not a great defensive player. Now we look at their bench. Bones Highland, I like. He's a liability on defense.
Terrence Mann,
I do like. So, and there's a reason why the Clippers did not want to give up Terrence Mann.
right? He's the
I
future.
do like him. He has a lot of upside. But then we look at, Norman Powell, another offensive player. Mason Plumlee, decent, right? Zubac, decent. What I like to look at, Russell Westbrook and Harden played already together.
And it failed.
We saw what happened there, right? Russell Westbrook and Paul George played
But then
together.
you gotta
And it
factor in
failed.
Coaching when it failed.
I'm about to. Right, you're right. Tyrone,
That shit matters. I'm telling
No,
you.
it does. I like Tyronn Lue. As a matter of fact.
If I'm coaching that team, they taking the chip.
Okay.
Taking
Listen. I would say we know they're not going to be healthy. That's number one. All right. We know they're not going to be healthy throughout the whole year. What I do like, to your credit, to your point, what you're saying right now, last year, they surprised me in the playoffs. The Clippers did. I didn't think that they would do or have the success that they had against the Suns that they did. And that was without Paul George and some of it without Kawhi.
Yeah.
Even the year before that, when they didn't have Kawhi and Paul George was kind of the guy.
Because of the coaching.
Right.
You got to factor in these good players with the same coaching.
Part of that is
they're
part.
They're going to be much better than you think.
No, it's not better than I think, because I think, I just said in the last segment, I think the Clippers are the 3rd best team in the Western Conference if they stay healthy. But I know they won't be healthy.
Well, obviously Denver. Who's the second team better than them?
I like Phoenix. I think Phoenix could beat them in a 7-game series. I'm telling you what I think. I think they could beat them in a 7-game series, only because I don't believe the Clippers will be healthy. We've seen injury issues with Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, and that's 3 of their top 4 players.
All I'm saying is this.
They're healthy now.
This is all up.
It's
Yeah,
early in the
they're
season.
healthy
Everybody
through 5
right now.
games. Congratulations.
Everybody healthy right now.
All I'm saying is this. Fang, I hope you listen, right? I want you to pay attention. Because Lynx is your family, right? And I don't want to pick on him. But I'm telling you right now that when the time comes, and the Clippers are exactly where they need to be, in the basement, with the dehumidifiers and the space heaters, and they're out of the playoffs because of one James Harden, and then he decides to flip it on the Clippers and say, I am not. I'm not done.
Doesn't have to be the man
Like,
when
see,
the first time.
this is the thing, is that when he blames the Clippers for not putting him in a position to win, he will leave because he's a flight risk. He didn't have to be a scorer in Philadelphia because he had the MVP. They had a good team last year in Philadelphia.
Who else they had?
They had a good team in Philadelphia.
What do you mean?
They were up 3 games to
Embiid,
2.
Harden, Maxey.
Embiid, Harden, Maxey, Tobias Harris.
What are you talking about?
Tobias Harris is inconsistent.
Tobias Harris averaged
still
17
averaging
points a game.
Yeah, but he's
Inconsistent, averaging 17 points as the 4th wheel.
Yeah, come
That's pretty good. So my thing is this. When you have a 3-2 lead with the MVP and James Harden and you still lose, you have people.
I don't even think Embiid should have got the MVP, honestly.
when you have a 3-2 lead with James Harden as your guy up on the Warriors, KD to the Warriors, and you lose that. So it just
The
shows,
receipts keep coming.
It just shows me,
It keeps
yo,
coming. So all I'm saying is that when the time comes, I need you to come back here. And you're not going to be off camera. You are going to sit right there. And you're going to apologize to me. I would expect nothing less. I don't want to hear nothing about Ty Lue's coaching. I don't want to hear about the talent that they have. I don't want to hear about James Harden's going to make everybody better, because James Harden and making everybody better doesn't even fit in the same sentence. Doesn't.
not for the past,
Even
3-4 years.
Embiid said it. Embiid said it himself in the last press conference. He's like, "Yo, we gonna miss him because like he made."
Well, he got to say that.
He made
You
everybody better.
don't think Embiid's going to say that
He got to say
as the leader of the team?
Embiid is playing better
He's
now.
going to throw shots at James Harden out the door?
Why not?
Yeah, I'm not.
Why
gonna
would
lie.
he?
I'm not gonna
Why
lie.
not?
Embiid is playing better
Yeah.
right now than he was playing with James Harden.
Yeah.
Maxey is playing. Well, I mean, obviously, he got more usage, balls in
Yeah.
more. I don't think Harden has made anyone better in the past 3-4 years.
No.
Honestly. Now, he made Clint Capella better back then. Like, Clint Capella owes him half of his
Pick and
paycheck.
roll.
Yeah, the pick and roll. I think Zubac and Clint Capella are 2 different players.
Yes.
Well, Capella's more athletic than Zubac.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
So,
all he got to do is the same thing: set a pick and roll hard to the basket.
yeah.
He can't probably catch the lobs and shit, but he can get open looks under the basket. You don't have to necessarily catch a lob like.
It was different back then, because when Harden used to play with Capella and they did the reason why I feel like it was so successful,
because they had the floor spread.
you had the floor spread, but
Why they
also
can't spread the floor now.
But also, guys would come over the screen, and you would almost try to trap James Harden. That's how much of a threat he was back then. I don't think he's that much of a threat now.
You see, this is again. I asked the same question even off camera, right? He talks about James Harden like this is the 26-year-old James Harden.
Man, it's a different.
This is not the same guy. He doesn't hit the 3 consistently anymore. He can't get to the basket as frequently anymore. And he's not getting those whistles that he used to get anymore.
But they did change that rule.
Yeah, they changed the rule because they realized that there was a cheat code that he was doing.
He was pulling people.
He exercised, like he understood how to sway the refs. Great. They changed it, and now he became more ineffective. So, going back to my point, you got a James Harden that has a terrible playoff record. You have Russell Westbrook, who has even a worse playoff record than he does. You have Paul George, who calls himself Playoff P. I haven't seen it yet outside of a few games.
That's true.
And you have Kawhi Leonard, whose his career, not done, his career is based on his success being the 3rd wheel on the San Antonio Spurs. He wasn't the guy.
He won them one of them chips.
He was not the guy.
He was the guy in Toronto.
He was the guy in Toronto. I'm not gonna disrespect him here.
He won them one of them chips.
In Toronto, he only has 2.
Right?
He only has
He
2.
won them one of them chips. If it wasn't for him, they would have lost that series.
Oh no. I'm gonna disagree with you there. He won the MVP of that series because he guarded LeBron James.
Yeah. Just like Iguodala.
Just like Iguodala got the MVP because he guarded LeBron James. You want to know what LeBron James averaged in that final?
He was still killing.
He averaged 35 a
He
game.
was still killing. So don't say because he guarded LeBron James. He did his thing too.
What did he do?
He checked the stats.
He passed it to Duncan. That's what he did.
Duncan wasn't even the.
He gave it to Ginobili.
He wasn't like, see, you're not being real.
He gave it to Tony Parker.
Not being real.
I like
Tony
Kawhi.
Parker gave it to him.
I like Kawhi back then.
I like Kawhi.
This Kawhi's a different Kawhi.
That chip cousin.
Listen, I'll be honest. Like I say, listen.
All them Parker, Duncan, Ginobili, it was all old. He was the.
Okay, so it was Kawhi.
carrying
So Kawhi carried him.
He was. They
Okay.
won that chip cousin him.
Oh, so Kawhi was the one that won the chip.
They won that
Gotcha.
chip cousin him.
See, I love this. I'm
I
trying to
think
tell
a
you.
healthy Clippers team with the team they have.
You can't say that.
So then let me tell you, how would you guard?
You can't say that,
guard
Fang.
pick and roll with any one of them? They could do a Kawhi and Harden.
You
pick and roll. They
cannot
could do a
say that.
Kawhi and
They don't do
Paul
that.
George pick
So
and
here-
roll.
so-
They could
so-
do a
so-
Harden.
so
They
now-
could mix it up. I'm
So
telling
since
you,
we
if I
doing
was open,
semantics,
you're not beating me.
since
with
we
that
doing
team.
semantics, right? Since we're gonna do semantics on the show,
There's so much shit you could do.
we're
with
gonna
that
create
lineup.
semantics now.
Alright.
Since Lynx just opened up Pandora's box,
That's what
I
I'm
think
talking about. The way
I think
this shit
Anthony
is
Davis
done,
is gonna win the MVP.
Anthony
And
And he's
Davis.
gonna win. He's gonna
Say
play
it again.
82 games. He's gonna play 82 games to win the
Nah,
MVP. You
come
know
on.
why? Because if healthy, Anthony Davis is the best player in the NBA. You want to say, you hear how ridiculous that sounds?
Honestly, even if healthy, I don't believe he's the best player.
We'll
in the
be
NBA.
No,
back
but you
after
hear
this
how
break.
ridiculous that sounds. You know why it's ridiculous?
No, what I'm saying
Because it's
sounds
not true.
ridiculous.
It won't happen.
I don't know.
I ain't
It
gonna
won't
lie.
happen.
If
I
healthy,
don't know. I think
It won't
look
happen.
at
We
the game
cannot.
of
We have to
basketball
stop.
different than how y'all see
As
it.
basketball fans, we have to stop using if, because if is not a stat. It's not.
yeah, facts.
It's a fact.
Well, that's true.
It's yeah. If it's not a fact, if you were 5 inches taller, you would be a great basketball player. If I had the ability to win $500 million, I would do it and be rich. If everybody in here was successful, we would have the best podcast in the world.
And if you had my jump shot, you.
And if I had your jump shot, I'd probably be in the league, right? We can't use if as a stat. We have to use facts.
That's true. Right about that.
It's silly. It's silly. We cannot. I hate when people do that because it makes no sense. We have to go with the data. The data says that these guys don't play games and they don't want to. Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play games. He saves himself for the playoffs. We all know that. Paul George wants to play. His body's not willing. Russell Westbrook plays and they don't care if he plays because half of the games he plays bad. And James Harden, they just wait for him to get to the playoffs and fail. So we got 4 guys. None of them are leaders. Who's leading this team?
That's that's true.
Who's leading the team?
Nah, you can't say the coach.
Who's leading the team?
It's not the
That's where it starts from.
The,
No, you
who's
can't.
leading this team?
You need.
I'd
you
love
need
to
a
know.
leader. You need
So
a leader
when
on the
things
team.
go bad, right? When things go bad, and they will go bad because the season has ups and downs, who's leading this team?
Right, you do need a leader on the team. and
I'm
none of those
waiting.
guys are
They
leaders.
don't have.
Who is it?
A clear cut leader on that.
Yeah,
team.
there is none.
Who is it?
Coach gotta lead.
Nah,
Okay.
you need somebody on the
Nah.
floor that's gonna lead the team.
Like I said,
Coach
I'm
gotta lead them. He was a former player. He gotta lead them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's more insight than what y'all like. You just think
Yep.
it's shallow. I'm telling you, like,
Nah,
you gotta
nah,
think
nah.
deep.
You need a player that
You
can
need a player.
Mhm.
Why?
lead the team.
keep it up.
Why? Why do you need a player?
Well, history.
But you're not gonna
shows,
take a
like,
team
it's
full of
like-
role players and say, all right, they're gonna go to the
Not a team
chip.
full of role players, though.
Yeah, but no,
It's a
there's
team
no
full of
definitive.
superstars that need the right coach in that.
Oh God.
I don't. But can you really consider them to be superstars at this point in the game?
Oh no, definitely.
Nope.
No,
I disagree with that.
I don't know. I don't see them being superstars.
I think Paul George is a superstar. in
Russell
this game.
Westbrook's not a
Westbrook
superstar.
definitely is
I didn't
not.
say Russell Westbrook. I
Said
said
Russell
James
Westbrook
Harden's not a
and
superstar.
Kawhi
Right.
Leonard.
Those two, yes.
Harden's not a
Yeah.
superstar, nor is Westbrook.
Right.
What's that?
Neither
Harden
Harden
or
or
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
No,
are
I said
superstars.
Paul George
Yeah.
and Kawhi Leonard.
So they got two.
Yeah, yeah.
They got two.
Yeah, but you're talking about 2 guys that
And
don't
two,
play a full
and
season.
the other 2 are
Complimentary
Hall of
stars.
Famers and they're
Yeah.
right there.
If is not a stat.
But I will say this: what Claude said earlier about if the Jets make it, you don't want to see them. You don't want to see the Clippers in the playoffs.
I think I would like to.
No, I don't think that. I don't.
That-
Think, I don't think LeBron James would
When
want to see.
when you have 4 failures,
I don't think
give it to
LeBron
me.
James would want to see the Clippers.
Give
in the
them to
playoffs.
me.
I'm telling you, they're gonna be
Play
much better
you
than
play
what
the back of your
you're trying to
baseball
take
card all the
stuff
time.
that happened and not thinking about
So
them
history
playing
so
collectively.
history means nothing. That's what you're
I'm saying
saying.
it don't mean
So give me their individual success in the playoffs, Links, and I'll shut up.
I tell you this, you have to base it off of what you've seen and what you've witnessed.
Correct.
But you also have to give a new collective the benefit of the doubt.
You're talking about if again.
Well, you're talking about if they coming back and play the way that they've been playing. So either way, if goes both ways.
I know. We talk about data.
If
data
goes both ways.
We talking about this Clipper team for 4 years now. 4 years.
It's a different team now.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's the same team with 4 failures. That's what they are. And they're now on the same.
I'm saying before that,
they're now on the
Reggie Jackson or one of them niggas?
Reggie Jackson got a chip.
Just a couple years ago.
He got a chip.
I'm saying
he went to a Denver Nuggets team and won a chip. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk more about it after the break. Welcome back, yo. We were talking about the Clippers. I want to be calm, serene now. You were saying, Links, that you think that Clippers will make noise in the playoffs. I, sir, would love to see that happen. I am rooting for you. But like I said, if things go bad, and things normally do go bad when you wear that jersey, and when you root for that team, I just want you to sit ever so gently on that left side of that couch. And I want you don't have to look at me. You can pan to the camera and you can break the fourth wall and you can say, I apologize for putting my stock into this worthless franchise that has continued to disappoint me over the years. That's all I need. I don't need anything else than that because it's just like what I'd say about, people like to come at me about Chris Paul. I've attacked Chris Paul for 20 years, and I've been spot on with my attack of Chris Paul for 20 years. I've said that he's a great player, but there's certain players that just have this black cloud around them, right? Is that no matter where they go, they can have success, but there's only success to a point. Chris Paul is one of those players. James Harden is also one of those players. And when you combine him with another guy that has very low basketball IQ, we're not saying that he's not intelligent in real life because he's making bones off the court. He's doing great business off the court. Shouts to Russell Westbrook for that. But on the court, I need to see it. As an old person, 38 years old, you see a lot of basketball. You see a lot of trends. And superstars combined together in this hodgepodge of a team, and nobody knows how to rotate and move without the ball. It's a bit of a challenge. Yeah, they'll probably win 55 games in the season. But how is it going to happen, or how is it going to work when you have to match up in a 7-game series? In a playoff series, that's when it matters. Is that in the regular season, what people don't realize about the regular season, I know you know this, D, is that teams don't game plan for teams in the regular season. They have a game on Thursday, they have a game on Saturday and Monday. They just play the game. They're not strategizing for that particular game. They're just playing the game. In the playoffs, there's strategy from game to game, quarter to quarter, minute by minute. That's when you can be able to really pick apart somebody's deficiencies and see what their weaknesses are, right? So that's why when people say, hey, Westbrook, hey, triple-double, hey, look at him, look what he did. But when that shit happens in the playoffs, or it doesn't happen in the playoffs, they're like, oh, I thought Westbrook was going to kill. Oh, no. It's because teams now have time to sit on a weekend and look at film and say, oh, he doesn't like to go that way. Oh, he doesn't like to shoot the ball on this side. Oh, James Harden doesn't like to go right. I see. That's when things are different. So, we'll see. That's all I'm saying.